I wanted to talk about something that's I've been thinking about for a little while, and that's monsters and villains in films. A lot has been said, I think, that the monsters of old, the classic films like from the 30s and 40s and whatnot, like Frankenstein, of course, and monsters like Dracula, and all those classic monsters from yesteryear, if you like. That standard has sort of not happened today, but these are the classic monsters that everyone remembers, and that it's not the same nowadays. Well, that's total utter claptrap as far as I'm concerned. Today, I think monsters and villains as well, it doesn't just have to be monsters. I think the standard is certainly pretty much it's the same. It's just as good now as it ever was, and if anything, they're even scarier now. I've got two case in points. One of the best modern day monsters, if you like, it's actually a robot, an evil robot. Well, it's not evil. It's just that it's got no feeling. It doesn't. It's out to do a job, and it does it relentlessly. And it's of course the Terminator by Jim Cameron. Of course, this is the film that turned Mr. Schwarzenegger into a major megastar, and deservedly so. Has to be said that Schwarzenegger was excellent in that role. Of course, it was originally going to go to Lance Henriksen, who played the cop in the film, or one of the cops. But like I've said in another video, twist of fate happened, stroke of luck for Schwarzenegger, and he got the part instead. Which fitted him like a glove, it's got to be said, and a few of the bits and pieces in it were actually his idea. There's a scene where he's hunting Sarah and Reese through the car park, through the parking lot, and he's sort of, looking left and right, and his eyes sort of dart one way, and they sort of, his head, I think, like moves or something first, and then he sort of rolls his eyes in unison or something or other, and that was apparently his idea, because he said it's how a robot would function. Which is, got to take your hat off and say it's quite clever. So hats off to Schwarzenegger for that one. And he is also a part of a film that also has an incredible modern day monster, and this one is a genuine monster, but it's certainly representative, if you like, of the standards of modern day Hollywood special effects, because special effects now have become, they've almost become part and parcel of what you expect in Hollywood now. If a film hasn't got great special effects, it's disappointing. Of course, it's all about the story, of course, we all know that. But with this monster, this was where Schwarzenegger sort of changed his image to Mr. Good Guy, and he's seriously under threat in this, and it's, of course, Predator. I've got both films, it's a double film package, and the sequel was also excellent. But the Predator is certainly one of the modern day great monsters. To look at, it is pretty fearsome, it's got to be said, and it's modelled on the great African warrior. And in Predator 2, of course, the creature takes centre stage, with also a brilliant Danny Glover. So yeah, that's one of the great sequels too. But yeah, and of course there is also the other creature, which is also one of the great modern day monsters, the alien, the acid spewing bitch herself, if you like. So yeah, there's certainly some great monsters in modern day cinema. But also in terms of villains, there's been many of them, but I think one of them has been rather underrated for a very long time. It was a comedy thriller, if you like. It wasn't a comedy, but it did have a lot of humour in it, because it starred, one of the stars was Eddie Murphy, and of course, that doesn't mean say, like I say, it was a comedy. It was actually, I think it was actually his first role, and he came off the stand-up circuit, directly from the stand-up circuit, and he was, very young. I think he was only about 21 at the time or something, so extremely young guy. And so the film was sort of a bit of a comedy edge. So yeah, it was a comedy thriller basically, but the villain in it was far from humorous. And the villain, the film I'm talking about, of course, is 48 Hours, with an extremely menacing James Remar, who played, of course, the vicious cop killer in the film. And of course, he had a pretty brutal exit. He was killed by Nick Nolte at the end. But as a villain, I think he's been extremely underrated. A lot of people mention great cinema villains. he's never been given a mention. So I'm just going to say that I think he deserves a lot more of a mention as one of the great cinema villains, because he was a brilliant villain. I mean, he was a nasty bit of work. He was extremely violent. He loved killing cops, and well, to be honest, I'm no fan of cops myself, and you sort of understand him if you like, But I think the viciousness he brought to that part was really impressive, and he turned it into a really brutal. I mean, the guy was a vicious brute, but he just played it so damn well. And he carried extreme menace. And and another one of the great villains is, of course, from Star Wars, Darth Vader. Possibly the most infamous villain in modern cinema history. Half man, half machine, if you like. So a lot of the great monsters really are they're robotic, mechanical people, like the Terminator, not the Predator, no, but the biomechanoid alien. That's sort of sort of in betwixt and in between, if you like. But a lot of the villains and monsters today are more or less like they're very modern villains, if you like. We're very modern monsters. Mind you, Frankenstein was part electrical, brought to life by electricity, wasn't he, because of the 2 bolts in his neck. So I suppose that kind of scenario even goes back to the classic cinema monsters of the 1930s. So maybe not much has changed there, really. But like I say, just a word about modern day cinema monsters and villains in these films, and I think they carry just as much weight as they used to. So the golden age of monsters was Frankenstein, Dracula. Nonsense. It's always been there as far as I'm concerned, and the modern day monsters are just as menacing, and there's quite a few of them out there. So well, thanks very much. Bye.